found the hole in my welly. Must be able to melt the rubber and seal it back together, I reckon. I don't think a lighter is going to be hot enough. We need some new tools. Perfect. Thank you very much. Dog's run off with a welly. Wilson, come here. Hope there aren't more holes in it now. Naughty dog. Might have worked. That may have just worked. Two things today. First of all, my attempted welly repair that you just saw seems to have worked. We're only at the start of our morning walk today, but so far my sock is dry. I'm sure you'll be pleased to know. And the other thing is the news this morning that Formula One are looking at analysing the possibility of putting some sort of digital message or digital information system onto the side of the halo. I actually think it's not a bad idea. Formula One have had ideas like this before. I remember actually being in the McLaren garage when Lewis Hamilton's dad, Anthony, turned up one day with an idea of his own, which was a roll hoop camera for the top of the Formula One car that had a digital scrolling message on the side of it then. The idea was that you could put race positions of the drivers, you could digitally display the driver's name, you could give information to the crowd and to the viewers, live, up-to-date information as to where they are in the race, what's going on, what tyres they might be on. You know, all sorts of information that at the moment is a bit difficult to convey in real time. See, the thing about the Halo is that it's all been a bit last minute. We've known about the Halo for a long time, but the idea of actually putting it on the 2018 cars has come quite late in the day. It's here to stay, it's not going anywhere. I know nobody likes the look of it, I don't like the look of it, but we need to look at ways of integrating it better into the design of the cars. It's an afterthought. It's gone on to a standard Formula One car late in the day, you know, after the things have been essentially designed. Fast forward a few years when we got a new set of regulations, we could have that completely integrated. The design can be integrated in a far better, aesthetically pleasing way. And this idea of putting some sort of electronic display on the side of it, I think is a good start in that. You know, it's about utilising it for something other than its standard safety, perhaps boring in an entertainment sense, use. If we can find a way to make it beneficial to the viewer and to the fans and to sponsors, I don't know yet whether it's going to be scrolling information that's going to be useful for fans or whether it's actually going to be just displaying sponsors' logos, who knows. But the idea of sponsorship around that area of the car has to change now because of the Halo introduction. The teams used to sell space on the driver's visor and their crash helmet for huge amounts of money because that's where all the photos are taken of the driver's head sticking out the cockpit. That was prime advertising space. But you can't always see that now with the Halo. Some of that value in that area has gone. So do we now need to look at new ways of introducing branding opportunities, corporate opportunities for the teams to generate cash by integrating it and using the Halo that's now on the car, whether we like it or not. Time for a test. I think it feels okay. Honestly, if I've repaired these wellies, I'll be so happy. I know it's stupid, but it's the small things, isn't it? Some quite interesting comments coming out of McLaren today as well. Oh. So Zak Brown has announced that we are going to see big changes to the McLaren look for 2018. I think it goes a bit wider than just the appearance of the car by the sounds of things, and it kind of excites me because I feel like McLaren has lost its way slightly. But what Zak Brown is talking about is a complete philosophy change about how the brand is portrayed, how it's perceived. McLaren, and this is words from Zak Brown, he said McLaren were always seen as being leaders, and that's absolutely true. Ron Dennis was a visionary character. He was a guy who you know, changed the shape of not just the McLaren team, but changed the shape of Formula One. He did lots of things which became commonplace, but he was the first to do them. Some of his ideas didn't work out. He's had some crazy ones over the years. The McLaren Brand Centre came about, along with all of the other teams' motorhomes in their current forms, because Ron Dennis was one of the first visionary people to move away from having double-decker buses parked in the paddock. He wanted to constantly take things to the next level. He wanted to be the person who started the trends in the Formula One paddock, to up the level of professionalism, to do things differently, to start thinking outside the box. That's what Ron was very good at. It's what McLaren became known for in lots of ways. And it feels like they've lost that. In their on-track mediocrity, they've kind of blended in. And McLaren shouldn't be blending in. McLaren should be standing out. And his words to me suggest that that's what they're about to try and do. Big changes coming in the look of the car, so we're going to see a complete new livery. I think the look of the garage is going to change. So are we going to see something revolutionary from McLaren in terms of that? I hope so. He's hinted towards bringing in new partners. Not necessarily a title partner, but he calls it a principal partner, which I guess amounts to pretty much the same thing, but has a different name. That's one other thing McLaren have been very good at over the years, is taking something pretty bland and normal and giving it a very fancy title. So we should see some more branding on the cars, and that's something that's been missing, not only because it makes the cars look like proper Formula One cars, like the giant multi-million-dollar advertising hoardings they should be, but also because it brings the team a load of money, and that's what the team needs. It feels like the dawning of a new era for McLaren. I feel like they got lost over the last couple of years with the transition from the post-Ron Dennis era. The way he left was, wasn't great. I ended up feeling sorry for Ron. It's not something I ever thought I would do when I worked for him, because he's a difficult man to work for. Now I feel like that's changing. I feel like they understand the problems that they've had. A big part of it was Honda, which is gone. The new era is coming in with Renault, and they are going to launch this as a new platform for McLaren. We're going to see a very different looking McLaren. I think we're going to feel a different feeling McLaren. And to me, this warms my heart, because I hate seeing McLaren struggling the way they've been struggling. It breaks my heart. Genuinely breaks my heart to see, oh shit, I've just realised I've gone the wrong way. I'm supposed to be picking the kids up from school. I'm so engrossed in this, I've totally forgotten I was supposed to turn off back there. Sorry kids, I'll be there shortly.